Why is climbing Marvel Rivals ranked solo so hard? Looking back, on January 27th, I hit Diamond 3 for Season 1. And so now, over a month later, I finally hit Grandmaster 3.
Are you kidding me?
It took me that long.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
But I've now done this completely solo. I have not played duo queue once or played with a 3-stack or 4-stack at all. And playing solo has definitely made this much harder. Let me explain. Now, don't get me wrong. It is still 100% possible to hit Eternity playing all your matches solo. There are people out there that have proven this. However, usually these guys are like former pro Overwatch players or former pro FPS players in another game. I guess a popular example that some of you guys might know is Super TF. I believe he plays all his games or pretty much all his games completely solo, and he's still able to reach the highest rank. So it is possible. However, if you look at the top 500 players in this game and you go through their match history, what will you find? You will find that about 80 to 90% of those players are playing in stacks or with another person. In fact, I've heard some of them even say that there is zero reason to play solo. If you want to climb, you have to play in a 4-stack. At least to get rank 1, you have to play in a 4-stack. Now, in my case, you may be surprised, I am not a former pro Overwatch player. And in pretty much most previous FPS games that I've played, I am pretty awful.
I am so sad.
Luckily, in this game, you don't have to entirely rely on having perfect aim. There are some characters, or in fact, a lot of characters that let you get away with this. Which is why you've seen that I have pretty much gravitated to playing tank. So I know that I'm not the greatest player yet. But I know for sure, and I am convinced that my climb would be so much easier if I just played with other players, even if they're similar rank to me. Playing with others would make this game so much easier to climb. And I could do that, but my mindset is, and this might be the League of Legends mindset, is if I do that, I now have a fraudulent rank, or a rank that is not my true rank. So when I see other content creators saying, I'm rank 1 this, or I hit this rank, then you look a little bit deeper into their match history and you find a few things, some interesting things. You find out that this guy who claims he's the rank 1 Spider-Man, why is he always playing with a Venom 1 trick?
Interesting.
Does that truly make you the rank 1 Spider-Man? I mean, technically, yes. But anyway, getting into the question, why is climbing Marvel Rivals solo so much harder? It is pretty simple, really. Playing solo means you will always have 5 other teammates on your team that is completely random. Unlike playing with others, this will now limit the randomness of your teammates. And this impact is even bigger in a game like Marvel Rivals. Why so? Well, this game doesn't have role queue. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not want role queue in this game. But it does mean if you're playing solo, there is a much higher chance that you will get 4 tank mains on your team, or 4 support mains on your team, or even worse, 6 DPS only players on your team. Secondly, we can take this even further because this game has team up benefits. No other ranked game really has these team up synergies, at least at this impact. It is much easier to climb the ranks if you're a Namor 1 trick and you duo with a Luna every single game, or if you're a Spider-Man 1 trick and you duo with a Venom every single game, or an Iron Man 1 trick and you duo with a Hulk every single game, or a Star-Lord 1 trick and you duo with an Adam Warlock every single game, and so on. Playing solo, you often won't get these benefits. On top of this, playing with others doesn't give you a consequence, such as in other ranked games, if you play with others, you may earn less points, or if you lose more points than if you were playing solo. Now, I'm not sure if I should get into this, but I guess I should. There is this other conspiracy theory going around that in Marvel Rivals, they use player engagement optimized matchmaking. Now, I have no proof that this exists, but there is this theory going around which is essentially matchmaking to keep you playing longer. So in other words, if you have lost a few games in a row, they will now put you in a favorable matchmaking game where you now get an easy win, or vice versa. Now, I will mention that I have been very suspicious that when I start playing, I often go on a lose streak, which would then be followed by a win streak. And as far as I remember, it has never been the opposite way around. For example, I have never gone on a big win streak followed by a big lose streak on the same day. Now, there are days where it's just normal, a win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, and so on. But if there are streaks involved, it would always be a loss streak at the beginning, followed by a win streak towards the end of the day. It does add a little bit of suspicion. But what I'm saying is, if this does actually exist in the game, it's more likely to be amplified when you're playing solo, because when you're playing with teammates, it obviously limits those variables or those algorithms that could impact your matchmaking. Now, finally, this is a little bit off topic, but I think in general, Marvel Rivals rank system is terrible. Because you can climb to Grandmaster with a negative win rate, which I don't think should be the case. Now, I get why they do this. Once again, it is to keep you playing because you're more likely to keep playing if your rank keeps going up. But I feel like it would be a lot better if it's just up until gold, you know, where everyone gets that free skin. So you can get to gold, you win more points than you lose. But once you hit gold, this is when the real rank starts and you basically gain the same amount as you lose. So if that's the case, you have to have over a 50% win rate to climb. And I think this will make matchmaking a lot fairer. Now, I was hard stuck diamond for most of season 1, and that's because I had a 45% win rate, when technically I actually should be getting demoted to play against players of my rank or my skill level, but I was still in diamond. But now that I've hit Grandmaster, this is when the real rank starts, because I believe once you hit Grandmaster, the points you gain are the same amount as you lose. So for me to get to the next rank up, which I think is Celestial, I'm gonna have to win more than 50% of my games. Can I do it? I think I'm probably going to be hard stuck Grandmaster for the rest of my life. But in all seriousness, I think I'm actually starting to improve. The thing has come out and I seem to be fairly decent with him. And so far this season, I've got exactly a 50% win rate. So if I can increase that to closer to 55%, then we're on our way to Celestial and beyond.